We go straight now to City Hall in Cape Town, and Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo is there. Juniour, you've had the opportunity to speak to, of course, some of the important characters or people that make up the cast of the opening of Parliament, including the Speaker of the House, Dr. Didiza, earlier on. Now you're in conversation with the Deputy Speaker, Annelie Lotriet. I'll hand it over to you.
Indeed, Iman. Earlier on, I did speak to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Didiza, and she was just telling us about her experiences. She is one of those cabinet members and a member of Parliament, actually, that worked a lot with the former President Nelson Mandela, and she was just telling us about some of her experiences working with the former President. As you know, when the President today delivers that opening of Parliament address, it also coincides with the celebration of Mandela Day. So that is another thing that is front and center to these celebrations that are happening today. But indeed, now we are joined by the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Annelie Lotriet. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. We are celebrating this event on a day when we are also celebrating the life and times of the former President Nelson Mandela. How significant is this event being celebrated on the same day?
I think it's extremely significant and a very apt day to have this opening address of Parliament, because it was 30 years ago that we were ushered into a new dispensation. And I think it's 30 years later that we now again have a new democratic dispensation. So I don't think you could have chosen a better date to have it.
And when it comes to today's opening of Parliament, this is one of the few events that bring together the three arms of the state. From the legislative side of the state, what are your expectations for today?
Well, I think it will be very interesting to hear the President and how he sets out the work for the next 5 years, because this is the address for the opening of this 7th Parliament. So I think that will, from the legislative side, set the tone and the agenda for what we will have to do in the next 5 years.
Today marks exactly a month and 4 days since you were elected as the Deputy Speaker. One of the tasks that you were given when you started was the EFF actually saying that they are going to table a motion against the President. How far are those processes? Have those processes gone so far?
To my knowledge, they have not yet tabled it, but I think one has to understand how Parliament works, in that we had a proceeding in the 6th Parliament where an issue was tabled. It went through all the constitutional processes and it was finalised and dealt with. So you can't carry on with that process. It will have to start de novo.
Thank you so much. That is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Annelie Lotriet, just speaking about some of the tasks that she has had to deal with. We know that when she was actually elected as the Deputy Speaker about a month and 4 days ago, there was that issue that was raised by the EFF that they wanted to resuscitate basically the issue of Phala, and they wanted to give her that letter. And she says that that issue was dealt with during the 6th administration, and there is no way that you can resuscitate that matter without any new evidence. Basically, that's what they're saying. We saw the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, actually over the weekend also indicating that should the EFF raise that motion as it was without any new evidence, the DA would not be supporting that motion to unseat the President, Iman.
Juniour, before I let you go, we know that where there's, another added sort of pressure under these circumstances, where there's usually so much pomp and ceremony, and some of the plans have had to be adjusted. Just talk to us about the weather situation and operationally how logistics might be impacted.
Indeed, Iman. Earlier on, we did speak to the Speaker of the National Assembly, who indicated that due to the rainy weather, the pouring rain that is happening here in Cape Town, they will be looking at some of those proceedings that are going to be taking place outside the Cape Town City Hall. These include the parade that was supposed to be done by members of the state security, the SAPS, as well as the army. She said that might not be going ahead, as well as the flyover and and the president standing outside the hall, in front of the city hall. That also might not happen. But earlier on, when the deputy speaker came to join us, actually, she indicated that it had stopped raining for now. We're not sure whether it's going to stop until the president does deliver that address. But for now, those are some of the events outside that will be affected according to the speaker. But she did indicate that despite the rainy conditions, the address by the president at 7 o'clock will definitely go ahead without any interruptions, Iman.
Juniour Khumalo, thank you very much for that update.